Avicii, Addicted to You on the MK Breakfast Show with Oliver Dean. It's almost 20 to 9. Now, back in December 2013, Jonathan Stansfield and wife Kirsty suddenly lost their little boy George after just a few days of being born. In his memory, Team George has raised well over £15,000 for the Oxford John Radcliffe Neonatal Unit SNAP charity who fought for George's life. Jonathan, firstly, good morning. Thank you for coming on the MK Breakfast Show today.
Morning.
So what happened when George was born?
Well, they're never really going to be able to tell us. Basically, the whole pregnancy and labour went absolutely perfectly. But then during literally the final seconds of the labour, just as he was being born, something went wrong, which deprived his brain of oxygen. And unfortunately, when he came out, he was extremely floppy, and he was battling for his life almost immediately. So the doctors and nurses at Milton Keynes Hospital did literally everything they could, and we ended up being transferred over to the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, where they could continue care there on a longer-term basis. But unfortunately, it was clear quite early on that they weren't going to be able to save him. But they literally did everything they possibly could to do everything. And then when it proved... Sorry.
I was going to say, it just must have been so awful and distressing for you both because, as you say, everything was normal up until the last few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a huge shock. We weren't prepared for anything like that to happen, really, and same with all of our families as well. Everyone was really excited about it. It's the first child in our family of the next generation. So, yeah, I mean, it was awful. It was the worst thing that's ever happened to any of us. And, yeah, it was an extremely sad time in all of our lives. And that hospital in Oxford, they were just amazing. And as soon as they were unable to save George, their care just seamlessly transferred to supporting us and our families. And we can never thank them enough for it, really. And that made the whole situation a bit easier.
I was going to say that although they couldn't save George's life, they did keep him alive for a few days. And they must have been so special for you.
Yeah, definitely, because it's the only time we had with him. I mean, he's alive for just under 36 hours, and we obviously got to spend a lot of time with him during that time, as did our families. And yeah, that's obviously the only time we had with him. We had some time after he'd gone to sleep as well, which, is always going to be very special to us. So it was nice that we did get a bit of time with him, because some people unfortunately don't get any time with their children. So at least we got something.
And in his memory, you set up Team George and so far have raised an amazing £15,000. What kind of things have you been doing?
It's been there over 18 now.
Is it?
It just keeps rising every day.
Wow.
The fundraising has just gone better than we ever expected, really. We started, as a few of us sat in the hospital, said, let's run a half marathon for this hospital to raise a bit of money. And then that just grew, and, we tell a few people about it, and they said, we want to run. And then before we know it, we've got people we don't even know running for us, and we now have well over 100 people that are going to be running the half marathon or full marathon in May. And then we've also set up the Team George Mile, which is this Sunday for the children to run. And we've got over 30 children running for us as well. And everybody's doing their bit to help raise money. And, the total's just gone crazy. And we had a target of 10,000 and we've nearly doubled it already.
It's incredible. As you mentioned on Sunday, it's the Team George Mile happening at Willen Lake. Can people still take part, or is that too late? Can they just go along and support?
Anybody can take part, of course. It starts at 11:30. They'll be starting from just by the pub near the railway. And yeah, if anyone wants to take part, they're more than welcome to come down. Team George is open to everybody.
Brilliant. All right, well, how can people find out more about, first of all, the Team George Mile on Sunday, and then more about the charity, and if it's a story that's touched some people's hearts and they would like to donate, where can they do all of that?
So the charity page is www.mycharitypage.com/George Stansfield. That's the charity page. That's got our story on there, and that's where all the donations are going to. And the main place where we all organise everything is on our Facebook page. It's just called a Team George Facebook group, and anybody can join that also. And that's where we have auctions, details on raffles, we organise training runs, and it's just where everybody can organise everything to do with Team George.
thank you so much for coming on the show. It's never easy to talk about something as sensitive as that, but we do really appreciate your time, and well done on raising just so much money, and you're not going to stop there either. So Jonathan Stansfield, thank you
Thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you. Here's Naughty Boy now. This is La La La.